some of those refugees would likely be relocated in Oregon and Washington, as well as many other states.
But many governors all around the country are saying don't send them to their states. So we wanted to take a look at where Syrian refugees have so far been placed in the U.S. Close to 2,000 have come here between 2012 and September of this year, spread throughout much of the country. Our Lisa Balick has been asking local refugee organizations about these refugees coming here. And what have you found out, Lisa?
Yeah, interesting, Jennifer. I found out there are just 2 families who have arrived in Oregon this year, but more are expected with the president's announcement. I checked with Portland refugee organizations and found out we do not expect to see a big wave of Syrian refugees headed here.
When a crisis hits, it usually takes a couple of years before we see those people arriving.
I learned those fleeing their country first go to a nearby country and then have to go through a series of security screenings by the UN and the U.S. That takes at least a year or longer. And refugees tend to be placed or asked to be located in certain communities.
Refugee families are generally sent where there already is a network of people who are from their home country. So the likely place that Syrians are going to be sent to is where there are already Syrian families.
The Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization, IRCO in Portland, helps settle refugees. They tell me the largest number of refugees who arrived last year were from Iraq, Burma, and Somalia. But they do expect more Syrians.
Yeah, by the end of next year, we expect to have a few families here. We don't know how many, because the 10,000 are coming in the United States, not necessarily coming to Oregon. We may get few families in Oregon.
Some estimate it could be more than 100. So far, governors, though, of more than a dozen states are saying Syrian immigrants are not welcome there.
Any one of whom can pose like the Syrian refugee posed in Paris and lead to a catastrophic situation.
I contacted Oregon Governor Kate Brown's office and was told no comment as to whether she'll take a stand on Syrian immigrants coming here. Meanwhile, Washington's Governor Jay Inslee is one of the few who says the door is open, saying, quote, Washington will continue to be a state that welcomes those seeking refuge from persecution, regardless of where they come from or the religion they practice. Meanwhile, Oregon took in about 1,100 refugees from more than a dozen countries last year. Now, the largest group of people arriving here are from Cuba. They're not considered refugees, they're considered entrants. Now, by the way, it's a big question tonight whether legally can governors prevent the federal government from locating refugees in their state. We'll see what happens on that question.